Tonight's report in our series on growing police militancy takes up the controversy over methods and weapons police are adopting to deal with violent confrontations. The seriousness of the situation, as CBS News correspondent John Lawrence points out, is seen in two calculated attacks on policemen early today in New York and Illinois. We start with the one in New York.
It happened early this morning on Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn, a section that is racially mixed. A hidden sniper on a rooftop fired rifle shots into this police car. The first bullet shattered the windshield. Another ripped into the rear door of the cruiser. The rear window was also broken. Fragments of glass littered the roadway. The two officers suffered multiple cuts, but were otherwise not injured. They were lucky. Sergeant Peter Kunick may have saved his life by ducking immediately after the first shot. Patrolman James Rigney told reporters, "I'll say a few extra prayers today." If this were an isolated incident, it might be worthy of only passing mention. But this shooting happened only 60 feet from a point where two other patrolmen were shotgunned from ambush last month. Both were seriously wounded but recovered. The fact is that some militants have declared war on police. Their numbers may be small, but it appears their threat is real. There was another example today in a Chicago suburb. Police in Summit, Illinois were patrolling early this morning. Two shotgun blasts peppered the side of their squad car and blew out the windows. Again, the police were lucky, suffering only cuts from flying glass. Summit has been the scene of racial troubles in the past week. Authorities had hoped things were quieting down. Gun battles between police and Negros are common in riots, such as last month's outbreak in the Los Angeles ghetto of Watts. A committee of the Los Angeles City Council met to explore the reasons for the riot. 3 Negroes were killed, 5 policemen wounded, and 42 citizens injured in the 3 hours of heavy gunfire. Exactly what happened and how it started is still being bitterly disputed. But what happened later illustrates a serious social phenomenon. Some people hate the police. Their numbers and intensity may be multiplying with their willingness to talk about it. Witnesses at this hearing testified to abuses and savagery by the police. One young man said he and his sister were beaten while trying to take an injured man to the hospital. The incident had this effect on his attitude toward police.
If this is the way this world is going to come to, where when we walk down the street, we got to be beaten, our women's got to be beaten, our kids got to be shot at, and everything else, well, for every cop I see riding down the street, I am going to shoot. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Because I am mad, I'm sick, and I'm fed up. You know? And I am definitely, whether he's black, white, yellow, green, I don't care what color he is. As long as he's a cop, I'm going to shoot. And I mean it.
The vengeful hate in the voice of that man from Watts does not represent a majority of Negro opinion, but it is being echoed by black militants across the country, and people are taking the talk of an armed revolution seriously, especially the police. These are policemen from Cleveland, where 3 officers were shot and killed in July during a gun battle with Negroes. Normally, Cleveland police are issued only pistols and shotguns. But Josh Darsa came across a stakeout for a gang of armed robbers recently, and this is what he found.
Are you fellows issued new equipment periodically like this?
This is our own equipment, Daniel.
That's your own equipment?
That's our own equipment, yes, sir.
You had to go out and buy it?
That's what we did.
How come?
How come? Well, we got the regular standard pistols issued to us, and then this is what we got. In fact, this one isn't even mine. Somebody handed this one to me.
A friend of yours?
No, I don't even know who it was. Another policeman here, because he had a gas gun with him.
Why do you have to buy your own?
Well, we want something a little heavier to help us. I think it's a smart idea. You're going to fight these guys here with sawed-off shotguns and rifles with pistols?
The police in this car had been chasing the bandits when a bullet shattered the windshield. The car went out of control and crashed. One policeman tried to fire at the getaway car, but held off because of the danger to passers-by.
Is this the gun that you were almost going to shoot them with?
Yes.
What is that called? What is that called?
This, I declined to relay any information on that if you don't mind.
Why? Why?
I'd rather not say.
Is it yours?
Yes, it's my own personal weapon.
Have you purchased that recently?
Yes, I have.
For what specific purpose? Can you tell us?
My own personal protection. I feel that I can't fight a high-powered rifle with a six-shooter.
And the department only issues you a six-shooter?
I decline to make any statement.
But do you feel safer now that you've purchased that on your own?
I do, yes. It gives me, as an individual, the firepower of 3 policemen.
What can it do specifically? Is it a rapid-fire weapon?
It is that. It's a rapid-fire weapon, and I can put out a lot of firepower with it. I won't say how many rounds are held in the clip or anything like that, or what type of action it is, but it's my own personal weapon that I purchased for my own personal protection, and that's all.
For the record, the gun being carried by several Cleveland policemen is the universal .30 caliber M1 pistol. The action is semi-automatic, like the standard M1 infantry rifle. It costs $120. Cleveland police began buying heavier weapons after 3 of their colleagues were cut down in an ambush by armed Negroes this summer. Police department regulations forbid them from carrying such weapons, and officials do not condone it. But a study is underway, and plans are being made to establish a specialized squad of Cleveland police trained in high-powered weaponry to fight back in attacks by well-armed snipers. Police do not trust people in the ghettos. People in the ghettos do not trust police. It reflects the widening gulf in the concept of the police officer's role in a volatile and often violent big city society. The argument continued in our final report. John Lawrence, CBS News, New York.